I want to review, actually. So this is what I'm going to do. Um, this segment was too long for me to upload on its own. So what I'm instead going to do, and I'm now speaking to the future, is I have uploaded a prior 4-hour segment on the Uyghur Muslim genocide, and I have uploaded it unlisted. There will be a link to it in the description. This video that I'm currently recording now, which was immediately after the previous video, this video will be uploaded normally. And the purpose of this short video will be a very brief introduction to what I spoke of in the past 4 hours and a sort of a review of its contents. So, the Uyghur Muslim genocide, that is to say, the cultural genocide of the Uyghur Muslim population, about 12 million of them in the province of Xinjiang in northwestern China, is something which is very heavily corroborated. There's a great deal of evidence suggesting this is taking place. There are people online who will convince you, or will attempt to convince you, that this evidence is wrong. It's sparse, it's flimsy, it's weak, it's fallacious, that this evidence comes exclusively from Western sources, that it's all propaganda, that it's people who just hate China. But actually, nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, using information gathered only through leaked documents from the Chinese government and official state broadcasts from the Chinese government, you can actually piece together more than enough information to make it perfectly clear that a genocide is taking place. The most charitable interpretation of what is taking place right now in the Xinjiang province in China is as follows. Over the past couple of years, a historically oppressed ethnic minority has been subjected to an astronomical rise in surveillance and policing. Not only has the government brought more police and more regulatory and surveilling programs to that region, additionally, they have enlisted literally millions of citizens in that province as essentially neighborhood watch organizers who work directly for the government, who are punished if they do not fulfill their duties, and whose job it is to be on the lookout for suspicious activity on the part of people within their region. That suspicious activity, and this is again the words of the Chinese government, does not constitute anything illegal. It does not have to involve illegal or criminal activity. It can be anything as light as being young. That's not a joke. Being young is a listed reason why it can be justified to announce that a person is suspicious and report their information to the state. Additionally, people in the Xinjiang province are forced to download an application which scans their phones for illicit or subversive material and uploads that information to servers held by the Chinese government. This is that area of the world, that area, Xinjiang, that province, is the hotbed of the cutting edge of surveillance state technology. There is, in all likelihood, no place on Earth more thoroughly surveilled. And all of this is done with the explicit intent on the part of the Chinese government to rid the Uyghur Muslim population of their extremist tendencies, but with their extremist definition varying so substantively to anything as meager as, spoilers, we read a court document where a person was sentenced to prison for 10 years because they encouraged their compatriots not to watch porn and not to, I think, I forget the details. It was not to eat haram food. What was it? It was some nothing. It was nothing. It was for 10 years he went to prison. Not to drink alcohol. That was right. Not to drink alcohol, and not the porn, right? Halal, sorry. Yeah. Eat without praying. Basically just saying religious shit. And 10 years, That's enough. That's all it takes. And we also took a look at leaked documents which described the practices within the re-education centers, which are abhorrent. Again, these come from Chinese state sources. Though it should be noted that just because a source comes from a Western actor doesn't necessarily mean that source is inaccurate. In order to prove something is propaganda, you have to not only prove that it comes from a propagandist, you have to prove that the information is inaccurate. It's not sufficient to merely point at a piece of data that you find inconvenient and say, that came from the West, because, having argued with Nazis for quite a long time now, that's what they do with Jews. If you're talking about immigration or crime and they see a Goldstein in the list of authors on that paper, you know what they say? They say it's Jewish propaganda. And you can hem and holler at them. You can say that doesn't mean the data is incorrect. You can't prove that there's a bias here. You're just dismissing this information because it's inconvenient to you. But they won't listen. And they don't listen because they don't want to listen. They don't care about the truth. They have their narrative and they've run with it. Don't be like those people. Don't fall for the bullshit of the kind of people who act like that, all right? Don't. The 4-hour video that I did, the one that I will link to in the description, it's not edited. It's not super clean cut. We're just going over documents. But I learned a lot. And if you care about this issue, if you care about arguments that you can use against people who would deny the suffering of these people, then you should take a look at it, okay? And hey, Chad had fun. Guys, it was 4 hours of research, but you had fun, didn't it? Didn't you? Wait for them. They'll... There we go. See? They're very happy. Look at that. So consider that an official endorsement of the contents of that video. But yeah, that's the summary that I can give you. The rest of it I looked at over the course of that video. So go check it out, huh?